Morning folks, today this will be the second of my Christmas videos. I bought these a little while ago, especially for a Christmas video, and I thought, yeah, today is the day. I really like these. I haven't made these molds before, but I like the look of them. When I saw them, they come from Amazon, and I saw the different designs on them, and I like them all. But I have a favourite. I wonder if, when you see the designs, if you would have a favourite. Mixing up the good stuff. And this, as I say, these are new colours. There's 100 of them. But don't get excited because you only get 3 grams of each colour. I bought them because I wanted to look at some different colours, and that's the way I do it. Partly it's money saving, and partly it's because I want to see the variations in colours, the subtle changes in colours, you know, the way they go from the very light green to a medium green to a very dark green. And I'm always experimenting with companies and buying up stuff, you know, to see what their ideas of colours should be. I've only used the 2 colours so far, but I like this green very much. Very vibrant. So I shall probably be doing some more things with these colours. As I say, I've got 100 to choose from, which is quite a palette. Some of them do look a bit samey, but on the whole, I would say they are nice colours. And my thought was, you know, if I liked a particular colour or colours, to see if I could just go and buy those particular colours. That's why I buy sets, you know, just to experiment. Anyway, now you can see me doing my usual hunt the bubbles thing. And even though I did quite a bit of that, these moulds can be a bit tricky. You'll see when I unmould them. They don't come out perfectly. But since things are handmade, we are not seeking perfection, right? Anyway, I do like these molds, and I think even though I've made only 4 in this video, I might for myself make a whole set of them and put them in my bay window in my front room. I think they would look really nice. Yes, also, when you do these molds, if you do these molds, don't forget to squishy the end bit, because that is where the top of the tree will be, and of course it's pointy right there. So you need a lot of squishy. The other thing, I must admit that I did enjoy, no, it's not going to be kept a secret, but the thing that I did enjoy about these was how squishy they are. They are like jelly. And before I filled them up, I had a little bit of fun just sort of flicking them backwards and forwards. And because I've got the silicone mould underneath, they flick backwards and forwards quite nicely. So they are very well made. They're nice and squishy. And this is partly why they take the details so well, because they are very flexible. I just thought I would share that with you. One of my little secret thingies I do. Along with my bubble fetish, of course. You all know about that. So, these are the 2 colours I used. And the first one I did was just the light green. And then I decided, well, why don't I mix them together? Which is what I did, as you can see right there, and just play around with, you know, putting 2 colours in. And that was fun. I might at some point get myself one of those pots, you know, that can hold, say, 3 or 4 different colours, and have a play around with that, just to see how the colours come out. So, what I was saying about these moulds holding bubbles, you can see as I'm squishing all the bubbles coming up to the surface there. Look at that, love that, how jelly they are. hand, here we are with the unmoulding. And you know, I was saying that I had a favourite design of these trees? Well, this is my favourite. I think they're sort of like holly leaves, but I really like that design. It looks so nice. And the detail in it, very nice too. Word of caution, when you're unmoulding these, the edges where the bases are can be a little bit sharp, so take care with that. I was also concerned that these might be a challenge for my poor old hands, but no, they came out very nicely. And again, I think it's because the moulds are just so flexible. I mean, look how easy that is for me to peel it despite it snapping back. They are very flexible. Yeah, such good details. And I think they're a nice size too. You can make a sort of village of Christmas trees and go wild. And this is another one where I mix the two colours together. Yeah, and I'm pleased with the way it came out. Nice contrast. This one had a few little missing bits because, as you can see, there's a lot of detail in there. And it's not always possible to get the bubbles out. Some moulds, you try your best and they'll always have a defect somewhere, so I don't go for perfection in those cases. This was another one. I do like the details of this, and this one is quite sharp to handle. But because of the nature of the tree, you can see there are a lot of places where there are voids. It didn't complete the tips, and that's not easy to do because you can't get hold of the tips and squeeze them individually in the mould. But all in all, I'm very happy, and I love the way the colours mix together as well. So now this is where the fun begins. This is just white acrylic paint. And I sat and scratched my head for a while thinking, what can I do to jazz them up? And I thought, well, first of all, they're Christmas trees, so they've got to have some snow on them, right? So I just did this. This is the same kind of method I use if I'm doing something with, you know, like a gold paint, kind of smearing it on. And it's quite effective, actually. So that's what I did. Smeared on the snow. So as I did say when I was unmoulding, some of these are a little bit sharp. I did get little bits of cuts to my fingers, but that's nothing unusual. I think if you work with resin, you know how sharp it can be, and it can take you by surprise when you get a little like a paper cut from it. But it's not to say it doesn't hurt any less, because it does, it stings. So just be a little bit mindful that these are sharp. And this tree, I went for the full-on gold effect. Very simple to do, but it is effective. Also, if you guys watching this thought, oh, she could have done that with these Christmas trees, you know, let me know what you would have done with them. because I'm always open to ideas. And my old brain can be a bit slow these days in actually thinking up ideas, so any ideas and suggestions are welcome. Oh, and if you are curious about what my apron says, it's a kitchen apron, you know. It says, "You don't like my food? Go fork yourself." I found this on Amazon and it just appealed to my sense of humour. Some people have commented on saying how cheeky it is. But it makes me giggle. With this one, my favourite one, I did a mixture of the white acrylic paint and the gold pen, because I wanted to change it a little bit, not make it too much samey, and maybe to cut down on that really lime green colour. Although I did like the colour. Oh yeah, this stuff, fantastic stuff. It really is glittery. So yeah, this was a bit of a process, but again I thought, yeah, they're Christmas trees, we need snow. So this one got some lovely white glitter. I just did them all because I didn't want them to be too much on the same theme. I wanted to try and make them all as different as possible so that you could see that, yeah, they are a set of Christmas trees, but they're all different. I love playing with glitter anyway, I must admit. Not so much when it comes to cleaning it up though, because as they say, glitter, the gift that keeps on giving, is certainly true. So you can see on my left hand, my pointy finger knuckle looks a little bit discoloured, a little bit kind of green. Well, that's because a few days ago I had to have a cortisone injection and it hurts. Yeah, it's not so much, well, it was the needle going in, because the guy who was doing the injections, he said, "Oh yes, that's it," and then he said, "Oh no, that's not," and he moved the needle, and yeah, I was kind of praying very hard. But it's become a necessity because my poor old hands, if I don't get some help, you know, with the stiffness and everything, it becomes almost impossible to do my hobby. So I go through the pain just so that I can, you know, literally pull things out of mould, because otherwise my hands have no power and they hurt too much. So that's why that knuckle area there looks a little bit on the green side. But having said that, of course, it helps. So these are some of my favourite chameleon powders. They're the Let's a Resin chameleon powders. These are from a box of 10, and I'm just sort of shooting through the colours, so yeah, you'll have to guess what they are. But this was quite effective. I was surprised. I didn't even know if the chameleon powder would stick, but yeah, it does. Oh yes, something else to say. I know I'm gabbing on, but I've got to get the details in. With all these things where I've put mica powder on them or glitter, I always give them a couple of thin coats of the Krylon spray. So shake off as much of the powder or whatever it is you're using. Give them, I mean literally a squish, very thin coat of the Krylon. Leave it to dry. I usually leave half an hour or so between each coat. then come back and give it another thin coat of the Krylon. And that not only bonds things in and helps them to stick, but it will also protect the project as well. It will protect whatever you've put on there. So that's what I do with quite a lot of my projects. I give them a Krylon spray, and it's good stuff. It doesn't yellow, it doesn't crack. So I've been using that for a very long time. Before I even was doing epoxy resin, I would use it for other things. So it's good stuff. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly had a lot of fun with that, and I'm now covered in glitter. Until next time, thanks for watching, and bye for now.